My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. This is going to be a new series. The old series, the Coventry map series, is having a few issues where it keeps crashing. I don't know whether that's because of the recent game update or the mods or the size of the map or how busy the map is, but either way I find myself recording 2 or 3 sessions, 2 or 3 episodes, and because I haven't saved it in between those recording sessions, the game crashes and all the work is undone, and then I have to literally do a mirror image of what I've just done, so when I do the next episode afterwards, everything matches up as it did on the episode before the crash. That is too annoying to do, so I've opted to go for a new map. As we can probably tell by the names here, Calgary, we are in Canada, and we have the Rocky Mountains here. This is a very large map, megalomaniac size, and there's a lot going on, a lot of industries and a lot of towns, a lot of varied terrain. As we can see, we have the Rocky Mountains as mentioned, and we have a bit of land either side of the Rockies for us to build in, and obviously crossing the Rockies as well is going to be an interesting challenge in getting some of the industries and towns connected that lie in between the peaks and valleys in here. So that's something to look forward to. It's going to be quite a challenge. It's something I look forward to doing. But to start with, we're going to focus on Calgary. This is the large city. We have 5 districts of Calgary, which over time will hopefully be amalgamated into one large city. We also have a little industrial park here. So this is going to lend itself to a large cargo station with all the raw materials coming in, being processed, and then the final goods going onwards to the various cities that require them. So we could see quite a complex junction here with a complex and big cargo station being placed down as well. So let's make a start then. We're in 1870, that's the default start for this map, I haven't changed that, and we start with £5 million. Now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to get this farm connected to this food factory and then get the food delivered into Calgary. It's a fairly straight route, nothing too complicated, and it should be a fairly decent money earner for us as well. So it's a decent place to start. To facilitate that, what I'm going to do is run a road to the rear of all these factories here, like so. That way we have a lot of options in the future for where we want our vehicles and our lines to run. So we'll quickly do that, just like this, nice and easy. Nothing too complicated or fancy, just a nice simple road along the back that has a connection, so we can have truck stops and stations at the back of these industries and keep them away from the cities as best we can. So just something like that will do quite nicely, like I said, and it's nothing too complicated. Okay, the first thing you want to build over here then is a truck station. We do want 2 platforms because we're going to have the wheat dropped off and the bread collected. We'll have it 30 metres, but we don't need any tram tracks for this. So we'll put this somewhere like that, maybe a bit further away. Yeah, maybe like there. That should do quite nicely. And then we want to put a second street access on the opposite side like so. And then we'll connect it to the road that currently exists. Oh, we need curved roads to make it look a bit better. Something like that. And then like that. So now we have a place for our food to be collected and our wheat to be dropped off to. We're also going to need truck stations at the farm just up here. So we'll build that now. There we go. But this only does need the 1 platform. No, I had it right the first time, that's right. And we'll put that somewhere like this. And then when we put the street connection in, there should be enough reach to have a connection to the industry. It is fairly close by. So if we do that and that, we have the connection. We will rename this to Cochrane Farms. No. That's better. Cochrane Farms. Excellent. We'll rename the one over here as well. This will be Calgary Food Plant or Calgary Food Factory, whichever. There we go. And then the last thing we're going to need to get this line started is a drop-off point for the food in Calgary itself. Let's have an unload station, and we want the drop-off to be somewhere like this, I think. Yes. In the future, I will extend that road to connect into the road here. I won't be able to afford it. I probably can afford it, but it'll be a waste of money to do it right now. So that's something to do in the future. So for now, the trucks will have to loop back, which is a little unsightly, but it should be fine. So let's get the line set up then. So we're going from the farm to the food factory, like so. Yes, that's fine. At the farm, you want to be fully loaded, but you only want to stop for a maximum of, say, 30 seconds. That way, if there's nothing there waiting for you, you're not going to be waiting all day. And we'll rename this to wheat haulage, Cochrane to Calgary, like so. Colour the wheat, there we go, that's fine. And then another new line from the food factory to the unload point. Again, we'll say fully loaded, but only stay for 30 seconds, which should give you time to get a full load, but it means you're not going to be waiting for too long if there isn't a full load available and taking up valuable platform space and time. And this will be food delivery, Calgary Central. Because obviously we have a few different suburbs of Calgary. We have northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest, and at least 3 of them, as we can see, require food. So by highlighting this as central, then we know exactly where it's going and what it's doing. I want to put a couple of waypoints down, I think, just so I can guide the trucks in and out of the truck station a little better, so they don't turn around inside the station itself. Yes, that's what I want. So food delivery. If you come in, which way? Yes, come in this way, but then leave via this waypoint. And then the wheat haulage wants to come in via this waypoint. And now they're not turning around in there, which is what we want to avoid if we can. We are going to need a road depot so we can get some vehicles on the line. Can we squeeze it in there? Ooh, not really, not without it looking decent anyway. That's going to do too much terrain modification there, so it's going to have to go out here. Perhaps we'll put it somewhere like that. Okay, now we need to get some vehicles running this line. We want cargo, horse-drawn carriage because it is 1870. And for the wheat line, I'm going to go straight excessive and say 100. That's going to cost us 2.4 million or thereabouts. So we'll get those, colour them the wheat colour, assign them to their line. We'll start the game. We'll also have this at half speed so we don't motor through the eras too quickly. And then we want to buy some other vehicles for delivery purposes, and for this I'm going to say 8. That should give us a decent frequency and rate up here. Colour them the colour of the food, assign them to the line, and away we go. So that's our first line set up, and I have no doubts at all it will be profitable. We already have our first loads of wheat appearing at the farm truck station, so that's going to be ready and waiting when our trucks finally arrive. It is going to take them a while. They are quite slow because it's early on in the game, and they don't have the most speed. Plus, they've got this quite steep hill here to contend with, so that's going to cause some slowdown. And because it's such a long distance, that's why I went for 100, so we can have a pretty steady income coming in without having to wait too long between a delivery truck to arrive to unload the wheat. That also means we've got less waiting around for the bread to get into Calgary as well, which is also ideal. Plus then we can start making money off our bread delivery as well. Okay, so in the meantime, what can we look at doing next? Something simple, perhaps like a bus service that services the centre of Calgary here. Let's go ahead and do that. To complete this, we want to finish off these roads here. Like that. And something like that and like that. In fact, you can go all the way across to there like that. Yeah, that'll do. And then we want to put some bus stops down in Calgary. Say like this. Let's just upgrade that road there, because that's a small capacity road. We don't want that. We want high capacity, or medium capacity, I should say. Back to our buildings. And then the bus can come up this way. And then you can come along here, down here. Down. Round there. And that will give us a loop through the city. And that should get people moving around the city quite nicely to start with. So let's get that line set up. There we go. Quite a simple little circuit around the city, but it should get us some money flowing to start with. And this will be bus service 01 Calgary Central. Again, bearing in mind that at some point, hopefully, all these little suburbs will connect into one mega city. Now we want some buses. Or I should say horse-drawn carriages, because of the era. I think just 4 is going to be enough. It's a red line, so we'll colour them in and put them on that bus service. We have a lot of traffic here between Calgary and southwest Calgary. So I think it's probably not a bad idea to have a link between these two suburbs. So we'll do that now as well. We've still got quite a bit of money, and this should be enough here to do what we need to do. So again, we'll just connect some of these roads up so we can have a nice loop around them. Yeah, that'll do. That should be enough. We'll put a loop in for Calgary southwest, and you can come this way, down here, and then down this way, and then I'm going to put one there, and you'll see why in no, you won't. We'll not put one there. It's fine without it. Get this line set up. And this is bus service 01 Calgary Southwest. Again, we'll get some buses assigned to this. I think about 4 should be enough again. It's only small at the moment, so we don't need to go overboard with it. Just turn the camera around so we can actually see the line. There it is. And then what I think I'm going to do is have a line which does something like this. Comes here, goes around into here, and then comes out into here, and then around into here. So rather than having a passenger station, we'll just utilise the existing bus stops for now. In the future, obviously this will probably use some sort of interchange in each district, but for now this should serve us quite well. And this will be bus service, bus connect. We'll call it connect because it's connecting 2 of the districts of Calgary. We'll not put central to southwest, we'll just put southwest. No, we will put central southwest. Okay. Again, we want to get some buses purchased. I'm going to say 6 for this because it's a fairly long distance. And they aren't the fastest in the world, and we don't want the bus stations or the bus stops to get too busy with people waiting to get between Calgary and Calgary Southwest. So we'll let all this filter out and we'll see what effect it's going to have. I think it all should be profitable. Here come our first buses. Well, I use the term buses quite liberally, of course. Here come our first passenger wagons out of the depot. Because it's a new map, I think we'll just take a few moments at this point. Oh, didn't want to do that, want to do that. Just to have a look at the map from ground level and soak it all in, drink it in. We can see there our freight wagons climbing up that steep incline on their way to the farm. We can just about see some smokestacks for Calgary over the river there. Behind us we can see one of the other districts of Calgary. I think that was northwest probably. Other than that, it's a very gorgeous looking map, nice scenery, quite relaxing in this early day when there's not much happening. There's only a few horse and carts around and you don't have steam engines and diesel engines thundering around the map everywhere. So it is nice just to enjoy this quiet, peaceful era for a few moments. So we'll do that now, just as everything filters through. Yes, looks very pleasant so far. We have some people waiting at our bus stops already, including a few wanting the Connect service between Central and Southwest Calgary. A few waiting for the bus loop around the Southwest as well. And a few on the Connect over here, so already seeing some uptake on that. Luckily our buses are on their way out, as we can see here. That is steep. Good grief, that's steep. If I had the money to spare, I'd redo this bridge so it's more, you know, it's less of a drop and then a rise. That's something to do in the future once money starts rolling in. Because that is, I bet that what they must be doing 1 mile, 2 miles per hour. That's horrendous. So that's something we can change once we can afford to. For now, it should be okay. It is going to affect our food deliveries because they come this way. However, our buses, once they crest this hill, aren't going to be affected anymore because they don't go anywhere near it after that. So the passengers won't be inconvenienced, but the deliveries will. So what we'll do at this point, I think, is we'll just pause the date and set the game speed to 4 times acceleration to give things time to settle in and get deliveries being made and passengers being picked up. I'm just going to do a quick test here and just see how much it would cost to do a bridge like that. Oh, that's not too expensive. I think we could afford to do that, you know. I think we'll do it because it is quite a steep hill. So we'll take all this back to there. And then we'll put in our own bridge over the river. Like that. Much straighter, less slow down. The vehicles are going to be a lot happier with that. Quite a scenic bridge as well over the river. I don't know if we're going to see much action on our rivers like we did in the Coventry map. Let's just have a look. I mean, we could have a... Is that navigable though? I'm not sure that it is going to be. Let's just check, shall we? Oh, it is. So we could have a little ferry service from Cochrane into Calgary. We could also have one from Bragg Creek into Calgary. None of this is navigable, so Canmore, your fat outlook, you ain't getting a ferry service. So there is scope for a few water vehicles, but it's not going to be anywhere near as extensive as we saw in Coventry, which is a shame because some of our ships were big money earners for us on that playthrough. So in this case, we're sticking to road and rail primarily for the time being. I think we'll have aircraft again, especially getting over this Rocky Mountain ridge in the middle. While we will be able to put roads and rail through here, it's going to be quite slow and inefficient. So having the option to fly over the Rocky Mountains, perhaps if we say have an airport in well, obviously Calgary, somewhere in this, to service Calgary in this region. And we'll have one, I don't think we want one down this little river in the middle, but we will put one over here, perhaps somewhere like, I don't know, like this, where there's a decent bit of terrain for an airport, and then they can just fly from one side of the map to the other. And that should bring us in a fair bit of money as well. However, that's not going to be for a long while yet. We're only in 1870 and the date's not even progressing because we've got it paused while things get set up. So at the moment then we are negative minus 131,000. That's always the way when you start out. However, we do have our first shipments of wheat returning to drop off their first loads. I'm just doing a spot check here, making sure they are all full. Yes, they are. So the 30-second wait time is enough for them to get a full load. Some of these may not end up with a full load, however. Depends how fast this farm is producing. No, it's going at a fair old rate, so 30 seconds does seem like it's a good amount of time for them. So that's excellent. Okay, here we go. Our first bit of income. Let's just slow it down. And in fact, we'll hop on board. Just get into a nice position here. And watch our first delivery and our first bit of income roll in. I say first bit of income, we may have made some passenger fares already, but they are not going to be as lucrative as this run is. So let's go ahead and see how much we're going to make off of these drop-offs. Here he comes now. Of course, I have the UI off, so I can't see how much he made. Let's have a look, shall we? He made us 14,000. Lovely and profitable. I'm happy with that sort of income. That should have kick-started production here. Indeed it has. So you, sir, are going to see our first lot of bread being taken into Calgary. That's also going to see us a nice bit of income coming in as well. Oh, we can't. We have no money. I was just going to connect a road here into there so our food deliveries can come this way and then straight on that way. But I can't afford it. So that's done away with that little plan that I had. We'll go back to 4 times acceleration then anyway and just let things settle down and get themselves spaced out. Let's just have a quick look while we're waiting how our bus services are performing. So you were in your first full year, you were profitable, just not by much, but you were. What about the line here, the connection? No, you weren't. Maybe that will change in the future, and you also were not profitable. So at least one of our bus lines is profitable, but I am not overly concerned if our buses don't make us any money. The main purpose of our buses is to either get them onto the trains, which should make money, or to get the roads off of get the vehicles off of the roads so we don't have any traffic. And I'd rather pay 20,000 a year to have reduced traffic. So we're just waiting for things to pick up here. As we can see, our wheat delivery vehicles are already on their way back. Our first one is about halfway there, so that's excellent to see. We've had decent income coming in this year. Let's just check that on our financial screen. Yes, we've made 230,000 so far. Our loan is only 50,000, so that's more than covering that. So this year should be a very profitable year for us, which is absolutely excellent. That's what we want to see. As soon as we can afford it, I will put a road down here to connect into this road, so our bread delivery trucks can come this way instead, can come out this way. In fact, what I might do, if I can afford it, I might be able to afford it already, is a quick road down here. No, we just lost a bit of money though. There we go. And then, yes, our food delivery trucks have routed themselves down here, so it gets them away from this little stretch here. So it keeps the interaction as minimal or as short as possible. Saying that, I could have done it here, of course. Like that, and that keeps it even shorter. So we'll have our delivery trucks, our food delivery wagons run that way. Yes, that's, in fact, can we now afford to have the road come out here? I think we can. Yes. And then what we want to do is our food delivery trucks want to head straight down here. So to achieve that, it looks like we're going to need a waypoint here. And then, no, that's the wrong line. Food delivery. Manage the line. There we go. So now the only interaction between those two lines is at this junction here. It is caused a bit of slowdown, as we can see. But once these vehicles start spacing themselves out a little better, that shouldn't be a problem, or it should be less of a problem. As we can see, our first delivery truck is now on its way back with its second full load of wheat. Let's just have a look at our line overview. Everything is profitable. The wheat haulage is bringing in $500,000 a year already and has a frequency of 17 seconds. That'll obviously change once these space themselves out a little better. Our bread delivery trucks are making us about 7,000 and our buses around about 3,000 each. So it's good to see everything profitable. It's always nice to have a profitable start to a map. It bodes well for the rest of the map, and it means you don't have to restart as soon as you've got going. Okay, well, it's a bit brief, but I think for a first episode, that's a decent place to leave it. What we can do between episodes is leave it running, give everything time to space themselves out properly, and give us a true reflection of the state of our company as to how profitable we're going to be on average each year. And then we'll start making our next moves. So, I hope you're looking forward to this new series. I certainly am. It's nice to be playing on a map that one of the modders has created. I didn't mention that, I don't think, at the start, but this is a map from the Steam Workshop. It isn't a randomly generated one. So someone has put a lot of time and effort into making this, and hopefully this can be something of a little showcase for it. I'm looking forward to tackling it. It's got a lot of challenges already, as we can see, with the Rocky Mountains, so that's going to be something to look forward to. But you also have this nice, easy starting area where the terrain is relatively flat, and you have some decent industries nearby what you can connect up quite easily. Although saying that, we have a lot of farms but only one food plant, which is the one here. But you know, it's plenty of scope for trains to get the food into here, to be fair, and they'll make us quite a bit of money. So yes, something I am looking forward to. It seems like it's got a bit of everything, as I said. The only thing it is missing is extensive waterways. However, just get the option up here. We can have ferries run up these rivers in the Rocky Mountains, say from Donald to Spillimachine to Radium, Invermere, Windermere, Fairmont, and then down to Canal Flats. That would work. So yes, there really is a bit of everything available for you on this map. Really looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into this one, seeing how we progress. Hopefully we won't have the same issues we had in Coventry with crashes. Touch wood we won't. I really hope we don't, because that was very, very frustrating and very, downheartening as well. I really enjoyed making that map, but I do think it was coming towards a natural conclusion anyway. The map was getting very busy. We didn't have a lot of free space left to do what I wanted to do. This map, we have a lot more space to work with, look. So having lines sat on top of each other shouldn't be a problem on this map, at least not for the very, very distant future. So, yes, as I said, we'll end it here then. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to it. All that remains for me to say is, ladies and gentlemen, you take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.